First of all, there will be a statement from Prime Minister, and we'd like to take your questions later on. Prime Minister, the floor is yours. The 99th Vice Minister of the Cabinet, that's what I was appointed. My name is Suga Yoshihide. In the beginning, still we have to stay on alert regarding the response to COVID-19. And because of the pandemic, there are many people who were killed. So first of all, I'd like to share my sympathy and condolences to those people. And in order to protect livelihoods and the lives of people in Japan, so there are many healthcare professionals and all the stakeholders. I'd like to deeply extend my whole appreciation to those people. And we have torrential rains and typhoons and a series of disasters which also killed many people. I'd like to also share my condolences to those people, and those who are affected, I'd like to share my sympathy. So far, under the second Abe administration, I served as a Chief Cabinet Secretary for Economic Recovery and the establishment of the Diplomacy, National Security, and Social Security Fund. On many different areas, I tackled important challenges. And after the turn of the year, we had a COVID-19 and expansion of the pandemic and the worst ever fallout of the economy after the World War II. Now we have to scarily tackle such a situation. That's what we did. And this time around, the former Prime Minister got ill, so therefore he had to resign halfway through. So I feel I have shared the same sympathy. However, we shall never allow the political vacuum amid this crisis. So after overcoming this crisis, we have to provide a sense of security, peace of mind, and safe livelihoods to the people of Japan. In order to make it happen, the initiatives of the Abe administration have to be inherited, and we have to vigorously move them forward. And that is a very mandate that was given to me. What we have to do right now, the biggest challenge that we have to tackle is our response to COVID-19. We have seen explosive expansion of the COVID-19 in the West. We have to stop it, or we have to prevent it, and we have to protect the lives and the healthy status of Japanese people, and we have to also manage economic activities at the same time. Otherwise, we will go nowhere. And since the turn of the year, we have some lessons learned from the pandemic. So we have to provide the right testing capacity, and we have to secure the right medical services system. And by next year, and to all the people, we have to provide the right capacity of the vaccination by the first half of the next year. And under this economic crisis situation, we have to protect people's jobs, and we have to sustain people's business. 2 million, up to 2 million business continuity benefits and job adjustment benefits, and up to 40 million zero interest and unsecured loans. So such necessary package will be disseminated, and through Go-To campaign, given the premise that the right anti-infection measure is in place for events and for shopping streets, and for those affected people, we'd like to provide financial assistance. And for Go-To Travel, after the start was launched in April, 13 million people have used this service. However, only 10 people were infected under Go-To campaign without any reservation. We'd like to put into place the right measures going forward. The economic rehabilitation is something that the administration will put the first priority on, the easy money policy and the growth strategies. So we need to really inherit the Abenomics with 3 others to facilitate the further reformation. And before the inauguration, 70 yen per dollar and 8,000 yen level share price. So that was our situation. We were economically afflicted.
Market has been moving very stable under the impact, even under the impact of COVID-19. Japan is losing its population, but the number of jobs went up about 4 million, 3.3 million female. In all the prefectures in Japan, job availability ratio exceeded 1. That means people who like to get jobs can be employed. We have created such an environment here in Japan. With the collapse of bubble economy, we enjoy the highest economic situation before the COVID-19 infection, but we have been hit very hard by the disease. We have to stem the tide of the disease infection, then we have to create a society after COVID-19. We will strive to carry out reforms sustainably. We make necessary investments so that we can jumpstart the economy after the COVID-19 is behind us. In particular, COVID-19 has shed light on some issues and problems. Digital supply chain systems should be reviewed. That's what I think. Online medical treatment is available now. That has to be continued. For the education of children after COVID-19, then we have to carry out the giga schools. Digitalization of government services, the key is the national identification card. Without going to government offices, the people can do all the procedures, administration. The national identification card was necessary, but the card was not available enough. Then we'd like to proceed with the introduction. Then we have to proceed with the implementation of government policies, and we're going to establish a digital agency to carry out the digital strategies of the Japanese government. In the post-COVID-19 era, we have to realize that the carbon-free society, stable supply of energy sources, then we will make no mistakes on those measures. And I'm the first son of the farming house, a family in Akita Prefecture. I have a strong idea to support or to revitalize all the rural areas in Japan. I have a very strong determination. I have racked my brains to come up with the policies. I was a minister in charge of MIC in the first Abe administration. I had an idea, the hometown tax contribution system. I saw the objection from bureaucrats in Japan to introduce a system, but I made up my mind to introduce such a system in Japan. People coming from rural areas, they come to Tokyo, then they have a strong wishes to make contributions to their hometowns in one way or another. They like to keep their bonds with their regions. That's my idea. Based on that idea, I made a proposal for hometown contribution tax, and the tax system was implemented. I saw a lot of objections. The BAT system has been well accepted by the people in Japan. Regional revitalization was an important topic assignment for me as a chief cabinet secretary. Last year, the land prices in rural areas went down by 26 years, but the land prices in rural areas start to go up for the first time in 26 years. Inbound traffic gave benefits. At the start of the Abe administration, 8.36 million foreign visitors came to Japan. Last year, 32 million. Foreign tourists went to various places in Japan. The spend was 1 trillion, but it is has been expanded to 5 trillion. Export of agricultural products and from the 450 billion yen to 900 billion yen last year. And I'm poised to work out policies to support the revitalization of rural areas, the regions in Japan. Children are the people to take on the future of this country. The measures for the lower birth rate was a key, and we provide the free education at nursery schools and vocational schools and various schools, and we get male public employees to get paternity leave for 1 year. Social security systems covering all generations will be established here in Japan. There are many children waiting to be accepted at nursery schools. We established 720,000 children last year. Since the start of the survey, 12 children were on the wait list of the nursery schools, the minimum number in history. We'd like to put an end to this issue by enhancing the nursery school systems.
And then also households who are looking after having a children, we'd like to support those households. And in order to lower the hurdle for them, so fertility treatment and the application of the national insurance should take place. So people have to bear children without any worries, and female workers have to vigorously play an important role in the society. Such environment has to be securely and surely established. And for diplomacy and national security, we have quite an increasingly tough situation. And based on the Japan and U.S. alliance, we have to provide the right measures. Free and open Indo-Pacific Ocean, we need to strategically move it ahead. And including China and Russia, with neighboring countries, we need to stabilize our relations. And after the World War II, in order to wrap up what we have been doing, and especially to address the abduction issue, we will do everything that we can do. And I will subheading as the person in charge for this issue, and starting with the United States with stakeholders, I'd like to collaborate closely. And as soon as possible, we have to make the return of the abductees happen with all out efforts. For 7 years and 8 months, when I was serving as a Chief Cabinet Secretary, I was in charge of crisis management on many different fronts. Ballistic missiles and national security threats were there, and then also the national natural disasters, and then also terrorism of Japanese nationals. There were many emergencies to which I had to expeditiously respond. And all the time, what I think is we actually have many things which deviate from people's feelings and normal common sense. And the three major carriers in the mobile phone industry have monopolized this area. And they have earned a 20% OPM, operating profit margin, using a public radio wave. So there are many more things that we have to really consider. And we have to listen to the people's voices to consider what is really right and to execute the right policies. That's the very things that I really believe in. This is what I'd like to really carry forward going forward. And the social vision that I have is self-support and mutual support, and then public support and bonds. First of all, people have to do things on their own, and then with family members and with regional communities, we have to mutually help each other, and then safety net should be then provided by the government. So this is something that I'd like to materialize as a trusted government. So silos of the government, and then where the administration and vested interests and the bad practices have to be broken. We need to benefit peoples. And I'd like to create a cabinet that works really hard for people. And by doing so, I'd like to live up to the expectations of the people and I'd like to have your cooperation in advance. So this concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Well, then we'd like to take questions from the floor. We have a cabinet meeting at